You suddenly shrink to 1 inch tall, the world expands instantly. Sound changes. Your own heartbeat is no longer a quiet thump, it becomes a deafening sonic boom. Every pulse echoes through your skull like a sledgehammer. The silence of the room is now a roar. The bedroom carpet is now a dense nylon jungle. Individual fibers tower overhead like skyscrapers. A single piece of lint is a jagged boulder. Dust mites are the size of house cats. Every step requires a mountain climb. The air feels heavier. Gravity hasn't changed, but the scale has. Your perspective shifts from master of the house to a very small, very confused piece of organic debris. Physics begins to break. Specifically, the square cube law takes over. Volume decreases by the cube but surface area only by the square. Your body now has far more skin relative to its mass. Heat escapes your core almost instantly. The ambient room temperature is now a freezing void. Shivering starts. It doesn't stop. Your metabolism must accelerate to a frantic pace just to keep your internal organs from turning into ice cubes to survive. You need to eat constantly. Every calorie is a desperate battle against hypothermia. The energy required to stay warm exceeds the capacity of a tiny stomach. You are effectively a biological furnace with a very small fuel tank. Hunger hits like a physical blow. A single crumb of a cracker is a feast for a week. However, finding that crumb involves trekking across a wasteland of hardwood flooring. The journey is perilous. The distance is vast. You are starving in a land of plenty. Breathing becomes a struggle. At this scale, air is not a gas. It feels like a thin syrup. The viscosity of oxygen increases relative to your lung size. Every breath requires more effort. The air molecules feel thick and sticky. Then there is the water problem. A small spill on the counter is no longer a puddle. It is a shimmering, translucent lake. Surface tension becomes the dominant force of nature. To a normal human, water is fluid. To a 1-inch human, water is a powerful adhesive. If you touch a droplet, the liquid grabs you. The surface tension pulls you inward. You are encased in a perfect, suffocating sphere of water. There is no swimming out. The water refuses to let go. You are now a tiny, drowning ornament in a transparent bead of liquid. The environment is now hostile. A ceiling fan is a series of rotating hurricanes. A gentle breeze from an open window is a Category 5 storm. The structural integrity of your bones changes. You are now incredibly strong relative to your weight. You could jump 10 times your height. You could survive a fall from a table without a scratch, but strength is useless against the invisible. Static electricity is now a lethal weapon. A simple spark from a polyester rug is a localized lightning strike. Your nervous system is overwhelmed by the charge. The air crackles with potential energy. Every movement generates a field of static that attracts dust and hair. You become a magnetic sponge for filth. Your skin is coated in microscopic debris. The friction of moving through the air starts to feel like wading through wet concrete. Every gesture is an athletic feat. The simple act of walking to the kitchen is an odyssey of biological endurance and electrostatic horror. Then the apex predator arrives, the house cat. To you, this animal is a furry mountain of muscle and malice. The sound of its purr is a low-frequency earthquake that rattles your teeth. Its pupils are black voids the size of dinner plates. The cat does not see a human, it sees a fast-moving insect. The hunting instinct kicks in. A single paw swipe is a supersonic shockwave. The impact would turn your skeletal structure into powder. You attempt to hide under the baseboard. The cat's whiskers sense the slight change in air currents. It knows exactly where you are. The chase begins. You sprint through the nylon jungle, leaping over dust moats. The cat is a blur of orange fur and claws. Each pounce creates a crater in the carpet. The scale of the violence is staggering. You are not fighting a pet. You are fighting a biological tank with night vision and a grudge. The struggle for survival is visceral. The environment is a gauntlet of sticky water, freezing air, and a predator that thinks you are a snack. Eventually, biology wins. The combination of rapid heat loss and the suffocating grip of surface tension makes survival impossible. Your metabolism burns through your remaining glucose. The cold seeps into your marrow. The house cat finally catches you. The end is swift. You are not digested. You are simply batted around the living room for 20 minutes before being forgotten under the sofa. Your existence ends as a minor curiosity for a bored feline. The physical transformation is complete. You have been reduced to a biological anomaly. Your death is an interesting data point in the study of scaling laws. However, your disappearance remains an unsolved mystery to the local authorities. The physics are sound. The outcome is inevitable. Your estate is now in probate. The court refuses to acknowledge your shrinkage as a valid reason for missing a mortgage payment. Subscribe for more terrible ideas.